Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you how to draft a mermaid skirt with cut together train, perfect for bridal gowns, evening wears, or any elegant look. This is going to be an easy to follow, beginner friendly tutorial. So if you're interested in all of this, please come with me and let's get started. The first thing I'll do is to come down by 1 inch from the tip of the pattern. This will serve as the starting line and also the waistline. At that 1 inch, I'll draw a straight line across. This straight line now will serve as the waistline. Then from this waistline now, I'm going to place my tape and come down to mark my hip measurement. That's waist to hip line. From the waist, I also measure waist to new line. After I mark the measurement, I'll draw a straight line across. So I'll label this line. This is the hip line, so we don't get confused at any point. Then this is the new line. So I'm drawing a straight line now on the new line measurement. This new line measurement is 2 inches above the actual new. So when you measure waist to your actual knee line, then you remove 2 inches. So let's say your new line is 20 inches. So from that 20 inches, you remove 2 inches. That will give you 18 inches. So the next thing I'll do now is to impute my round waist measurement. The round waist measurement divided by 4, I will impute the measurement. Then if you are using that for this skirt, you impute plus 1 inch for your dart. So you are adding both your round waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch. Then on your hip line, you divide your hip measurement by 4. Then you impute your measurement. Then at this new line now, your round hip measurement minus 3 inches divided by 4. After that, I will now connect from the waistline down to the hip, from the hip down to the new line. Now if you have a hip curve, this is where you should use your hip curve. But if you are using a French curve like me, then you watch how I turn the French curve to achieve a nice curvy shape at the hip to avoid any pointy or sharp effect. So once that is done, I'll place my tape from the waistline and mark the full skirt length. At the full skirt length, I'll come to the hip measurement and measure out what I have there. Then I'll impute the same measurement at the full length. Then I'll draw a straight line to mark the full length. Then after I have marked this full length and impute the measurement, then I will add how wide I want the down to be. Now at this point, you either add 6 inches, 7 inches if you want it to have a nice fullness there. After that, I'll add 1 inch sewing allowance. Now, if you're adding allowance for your own work, please add 1.5 inch or 2 inches. After adding the allowance, I'll connect from that allowance at the waistline down to the hip, from the hip down to the new line. Once I'm done with that, I'll connect from the new line down to the full skirt length. So I'll extend this hip measurement to the extra 6 inches that I added for the fullness added down. Then I'll connect from that point to the new length. The next thing I'll do now, I'll come to this hemline and come out by 1 inch. Then I'll connect from this 1 inch into the width of the skirt this way. This is to eliminate the sharpness at the hem of the skirt and to also have a nice roundness at the hem of our skirt. So if I'm putting my dart, that's going to be like 3 to 4 inches deep for the front. So the next thing I'll do now is to cut out the pattern. So I'm not going to cut out that curve yet. I'm going to tell you why later. So as you can see, I'm not rushing. I'm taking my time to cut it. So that's what you should do also. And if possible, when you are drafting your pattern at home, please use pencil. Now it's time for me to draft the back, and I've properly placed the front pattern on another pattern paper and I've pinned it down. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to cut out the side of our pattern. So for clarity's sake, this part that I'm cutting now is the side of our skirt. So I am done cutting it out. As you can see how beautiful it looks. So now this part I am drawing a straight line on now is the center back and center front. For the front pieces is the center front. For the back pieces is the center back. I hope I'm not confusing you. If you're enjoying the tutorial, please drop a heart for me on the comment section and let me know what you think at this point. So the next thing I'm doing now is to add my zipper allowance. At the waistline, I'll add a 1.5 inch zipper allowance. I'll add 2 inches at the hip line and 1.5 inch at the knee line. 0.5 inch at the hip line is for ease so that it won't press flat. Now that I mark out the zipper allowance, I'll just connect it from the waist down to the hip, from the hip down to the knee. The next thing I'll do now is to add a train to my skirt. So in order to do that, I'll measure from this new length down to the full skirt length. And after I measure the length from the new to the full skirt length, I have 16 inches. So I'm going to place my tape from the new line this way out to get my 16 inches. So after I mark the 16 inches, then I'll draw a straight line connecting from my new line down to the 16 inches. And I'll place my tape on that new line again and mark the 16 inches downwards. After that, I'll place my tape on this new line and impute the 16 inches also. Then I'll come out also this way from that new line and mark the 16 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to connect the 16 inches from this side down to the hemline. Now, I used my French curve, but you can also use the dotted line. Just dot it to connect it. Now, if you notice, the back is a little bit longer than the front. If you measure the 16 inches from the new line at the center front, to mark out the back, you realize that is about 1 inch or 1.5 inch longer. But now, if you want your back to be way longer, you can add extra inches, just as wide as you want it to be. So guys, as you can see, the train is ready, and this is how to cut your mermaid skirt together with your train. You can either cut it together or you attach it, but this is basically all on how to cut it together. If you watched to this point, thank you very much. Please don't forget to subscribe and click notification bell to get notified whenever I upload new videos. Please drop a heart for me in the comment section so that I know you got to this point. So I'll cut it out now and also show you how to contour the waistline. So in order to contour the waistline, I'll come down by 1 inch at the center front. Then I'll connect from that 1 inch to the side of the skirt. So at the waistline for the back, I'll come up by 1 inch from the waistline and connect from that 1 inch down to the center back. So once I'm done with that, I'll cut out the waistline. I'll cut out 1 inch below the waistline from the center front up to the side front this way. Then I'll come to the back and cut out from the center back up to the 1 inch at the side. And this is all on how to draft your mermaid skirt with cut together choose. This is the front and this is the back. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more. See you in my next video.